All right, welcome back, everyone. So I said next we're talking about four input elements I want to show us, or input types rather. So we're going to start with checkbox, then we'll go to radio button. Now I believe you've probably seen checkboxes, and radio button. Radio button looks something like this. You probably have three options. When you probably click only one. When you click one, you can't click the others. If I try to click the others, this one gets unticked, and then this one gets ticked. If I click this one gets ticked, these others get unticked. So you can't tick more than one at the same time. You can't tick more than one at the same time. White checkbox on the other hand, you probably have seen it. You can just tick something. You can pick more than one option. The difference between a checkbox and a radio button is that you can actually, with a checkbox, you can tick or pick more than one option. The user can pick more than one option. But with radio button, it has to be just one option. Now, before we do the checkbox and radio button, I think it's more important I talk about the search input. I'm sorry, um, the submit input. So we're going to have another paragraph now. I hope I still have, um, okay, I still have it on my clipboard. So I'm going to change this to submit. Type equals submit, submit. All right. Now, there are two ways in every form. Every form should probably have a submit button. There are two ways you can actually have a submit button. It's either you use it as an input, set the type set to submit, like I'm doing right now. ID submit submit button. Let me use submit button, and then for attribute submit button. Um, okay, let me see. So a submit button will not need to label actually. Let me see. Sorry. All right, input type. Okay, let me save this and see what we have first of all to show you how it looks at all. I hope I input type set a button. Let's save again and refresh the page. Okay, this is it. All right. So can you see the button? It is just what it is. If I click on it, let me see. Well, it can't even work now because we didn't enter anything in the form action. So there's not really any way it's going to submit it right now. So let me just try to enter something and attempt of faking a submit. All right. Let's try to submit. Okay, it's not some because it's not even specified to anywhere. Well, this is what a submit button. Can you see what happened when I tried submitting? It didn't actually submit because there's an wrong formatting. Let me try it again. I hope you see what I just saw now. Can you see? Please include an @ So let me just include an @ still a fake email address, and I think let me make the password very short. Let me try to submit this time around. Please enter and follow @ dot something something. So you expect something else after the @ symbol, which probably at yahoo.com or at gmail.com. So now that is inbuilt validation. We didn't say that HTML has that by itself. It expects the user to pass not just something, for instance, maybe Craig David at yahoo.com. Just writing Craig David, it won't accept it. So let's try to submit at this time around and see. Now, please lengthen this text to 6 characters or more. You are currently using 3 characters. That particular form validation is something we added by ourselves. If you remember, password, I put minimum length, min length, I set it to 6. That is, the password must be at least 6. So let me add 3 more or 4 more. It's now 7. Let's try to submit. Can you see? Submitted properly. Once it's submitted, every information is sent to whoever we send it to. Let me see if I can access anything here. Everything is sent. to wherever, whatever fake or real server we send it to. Now let me see. By default, if you notice, by default the button carries the text of submit. That is the default. That the one part about it is that it is just static. But if you want something more fancy, now beside that, I'm going to have something else. And look at, it's going to be a button. Now we have the button element itself in HTML. Remember I said there are two ways to which you can do this. Sorry. There are two ways you can actually do this. All right. You can either have an input with a type set to submit. It will do the same job. Or you can rather have a button, which this is what I actually prefer most times. Well, setting the type to submit as well is there. And this one does not carry any text. It is you that will determine what you want it to do. So I can actually have, I can actually have it as submit, or I can actually have something else like click me to submit form. It is flexible. You can type whatever you want on it, unlike the input that automatically has this submit, even though we didn't type submit. So now I'm going to have a new button. Can you see? Click me to submit form. So I personally, you can use anyone you like, but me, I prefer to use I'm always preferring to use the button element itself. Now, there's one thing again about forms and all of these inputs that you should know. I said in most of them you probably have a label assigned to it, and then aside the label you should also have. I said if it is going to accept a user typing in something, you should have a placeholder um, attribute. Every of them should probably have, not probably, definitely have an ID, and ensure that you match the ID to the labeled for attribute. Now, aside that, there is this attribute of name you should give, attribute of name that you should learn to give to all your inputs. So for this one now, I'll call it experience. I set it as experience. This one, I give it as rating, just the same. You can actually give it something else. It doesn't have to be the same. It doesn't actually have to be the same word, but just for everything to rhyme, rating. This one, password, name set to password. Let me use password, not PW. And this one set to email, email. We have one more at the top. This name set to name. Let me set it to names. What else? We've done rating. Submittable. This is a file. This is a file. Let me just add name for whatever I'm submitting to user file. Let me give it a name, or selected file. Selected file. What else? URL. Name set to URL. Next, I'll have contact. Oh, sorry, name rather. Name set to contact, and date of birth. Name set to date of birth. I think we actually had quite enough of them. And then we have, what do we have here? Label for, okay, nothing in particular. Okay, this is nothing in particular. Label for CV, we don't need this. We just use the button alone. So let's remove, let me add my closing tag. Um, all right. So inside the form, we have various ones, and we have the button. The button does not need a name or attribute. Now, what all of these things do, let me see. I'm going to try to make a demonstration. David here, name, something. Let me just enter something. Password. Let's assume I entered something. Work experience 2. The rating, set it to probably this is 6 or thereabout. File, let's just choose anything at random. Consider everything is actually working the way a form is meant to work now. Okay, come on, come on, come on, come fast. Okay, so now here we are. Let's assume this is the document we want to pick. Pick our document. This is the document here. URL. Let's just copy a random URL so that it allows us to go. Okay, let's just copy this URL. I copy, I go back here and paste it. But it has to be a correct URL or it won't allow us to go. Mobile contact 08123. Maybe okay. I think this should be complete. Or yeah, this. Let's just pick a random birthday. Or I will pick the date of birth. Submit CV. What? Let me see. What did we intend writing there? Submit CV. Um, date of birth. Oh my God. We've not refreshed the page. Oh, so everything I wrote is going to disappear right now. Oh man. Okay, that's disappeared. Quickly, let me just do it again. Mobile contact 091, random number, link, pick a file initially, rating 80 or 8 over 10, years of experience 2, password has to be more than 6. This one, okay, wow, can you look at this? It's actually even bringing auto suggestions. This one good work of HTML. And then full name, let me just have David B. All right, now, so we've actually filled the form. We are left submitting, but because there is really no place to submit,